Hi guys, Mickey here, Hampshire Outdoors and Survival. So here's a quick video for you. Sat out and done this one quickly today in 30-degree heat. I suffered. But it's an answer to a question I got this morning from one of my subscribers, Cup of Joe. Hello mate. Hope this helps. So he asked me, Kelly Kettles, the hobo stove and the folding stove, which one was the better? So what I've done a comparison test with them both. I've thrown in my thoughts, so it gives you a visual. So if anybody out there is looking for one of these stove sets, it gives you a comparison of the two, pros and cons, whys and wherefores and such like. So now, with no further ado, let's get on with the video. Please like, subscribe, ring that notification bell for other videos, and of course enjoy yourselves. Be safe, be good. Mickey, let's crack it on. Hi guys, welcome to Hampshire Outdoors and Survival. So I got asked a question today by one of my subscribers, Cup of Joe. So I'll attempt to answer that question. And it's not something I've really thought about or tried before. So we're going to give it a go, test it out and see what it comes up with. And the question was quite simple. Which two of these systems, supplied by Kelly Kettle, work the best on the base as a hobo stove? Okay. Is it this system, which is nice and light, packs away to absolutely nothing, takes no space whatsoever, will slide up inside the Kelly Kettle when you carry it in a bag? Or is it the hobo stove? Now, the obvious question is carrying. Is it light enough to carry? What are you carrying? What's the weight? What's the issue? So, all I have to say about that is bear in mind that's the base for your Kelly Kettle. Okay. The hobo stove slots inside and your Kelly Kettle slots on top, allowing you space inside the Kelly Kettle to carry kindling, spare materials, even a fire lighting kit can slide up inside there. Bear in mind it does get a bit sooty inside the kettle, but hey, you know, needs as must on your travels. Now the other thing is, I do carry both systems because that one will slot up inside there and allow me to carry the whole system together. Okay, so again, it all packs into the same bag. But the question was, which one's best? So you might be just packing out with that, okay, and using it purely as a stove. Good idea in these conditions, which are a bit hot and dry at the moment. And again, I do apologise, the reason I'm not doing this up the woods is at the moment I don't want to light any wood fires up there because it's like a tinderbox. So we'll give these both a try, side by side. We've got two Kelly Kettles, both the same amount of water in. However, I could not find two pans the same size. Okay, all my pans vary in their size. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use one pan, and it's a heavy pan, it's a heavy stainless steel pan, stew pan, and I've put 3 litres of water in it. Okay. So really, I am over odds in it. There's 3 litres of water in that. It's a lot of weight. It's a stability issue, which I also want to check out. Okay, see how it goes. Now, this system here is designed to use on top of the Kelly Kettle as well. So it slots in to the chimney like that, so that you've got a cooking surface, a pot surface up there. It does work, and it does work very well. It will heat pots, keep things warm whilst you're making a brew, so on and so on and so on. So you could use that there. It doesn't work that way up. Well, it will sit on there that way up, but then it has an issue that way. And obviously that way it's nice and stable. As long as your Kelly Kettle's good, it's not going anywhere. Now, coming back to this system, right, it doesn't fit into the hobo stove that way. It fits in that way. So it has to go a specific way up. It's got a graduated basis, so it works quite nicely, and it will work with other systems. We'll be giving those a try at a later date. Now, I do apologise, there's a fan going behind me because we have no wind, and as you're aware, you want a little bit of breeze with the Kelly Kettle if you can, okay? And obviously I haven't got all day, and I'm going to try and do this comparison side by side. So what we'll do, first of all, we will light this up, get it burning. One of my preferred ways to do it, if I'm going to be using the hobo stove, one of the things I'll do is you can place the Kelly Kettle over the hobo stove. So I'll load the hobo stove up with wood, I'll light it, I'll boil some water in there, which will then give me a nice bed of embers, okay? I can then come back, feed more material in. So I'm actually using the chimney effect of the kettle to fire up the hobo stove and get that good and warm, get some embers in the bottom. However, it doesn't work on the folder, okay? So just bear that in mind. But again, you can take the folder off, build your fire pot, light it, boil some water, get a nice cup of coffee going, take that off. You've now got a good bed of embers, and you can start feeding materials on there, okay? So that's two options that way. So what we'll do, we'll get a fire lit in this. Now, materials I'm using today at home, so I have some kindling wood, okay, and I have a couple of small pieces of hazel that are quite chunky. And what right, let's do a quick before we light the fire, let's do a quick stability comparison. Now, you have to bear in mind this base is a little bit wobbly. Okay, so we're looking at the standard hobo stove, we're looking at a large pan, okay, and we're looking at 3 litres of water. Yeah, fits on there nice. That's a 12-inch pan, okay, that fits on there nice, it's stable, I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, as with anything, you've got to be a bit careful, but it fits quite nicely and it's nice and stable. We'll have a look at the pot, the folding system, place that in place, exactly the same container on the top. Yeah, it's stable, but it's not as stable. If I had to use it in an emergency, I would, but I don't know that it would be a definite cut. Well, that one's definitely more stable. That one, yes, you could make do with it, I'm not so sure. So again, just reiterating, on the hobo stove, 12-inch pan with 3 litres of water, stable, I'm happy with that. On the folding system, yeah, it can slide a little bit, it's not quite so much surface on the bottom, but it will work. Well, it would definitely work. Another thing, just looking at it now, looking at the two systems, okay, so we're going to light fire in there, the heat's going to come up through. With this system here, it's open-sided. Now that can work two ways. That's getting good airflow, but the problem is it's going to be impacted by wind, okay, which can take some of your heat away, or it can interfere with your fire. This side is channeled, so the heat is channeled up through this section to the base of your pan, okay. It does have cutouts on it round here, and it does have gaps here where it's folded over. So I think this one's probably going to heat a bit quicker than this one, although this has the bonus of folding away to nothing and being a bit lighter. So let's have a look, see how we go. We'll light a fire. Now, again, because I'm doing this at home, don't have access to twigs, and so we're going to go very, very simple. I'm going to use 2 of these fibre fire lighters per stove. And again, these are absolutely brilliant, guys. They give off no smoke, no fumes. They're absolutely fantastic. I would recommend them. I'll take the 2 pieces of wood out, and again, stay nice and simple today. We're going to light them purely with a cigarette lighter. That's what we're going to do. Bolt that up a little bit. So I've actually used 3 firelighters each side. So that gets us started. Let's turn those right round into a decent orientation. I'm going to put a piece of wood in that side and a matching piece of wood in that side. I have some kindling here which are broken up, which basically the idea is that just represents the same twigs that you would use on a twig stove. Now, to assist it, what we'll do, put a Kelly Kettle on each one. Obviously making sure you've got water in your Kelly Kettle. Nothing like a bit of Kelly Kettle porn. I might slow this down, put it to music, 2 Kelly Kettles running together. Whoa, you gotta like it. Right, that one's coming to a boil. Let's have that off. Get a nice brew out of that one. And that one's coming to a boil. So we get that off. Make a nice brew out of that. Now, so the next thing for us to do is to sort our fire pot out. Don't want anything overhanging the edges when you put the fire pot on. Use a stick, get it on. Right, I'm already seeing an issue that I think I'm going to have. It's not too bad. So we've got our fire pots on. And as we can see with this one, as I said before, the nice thing is the way the heat is channeled up to the base of the saucepan. Okay, feeding is a little bit more restrictive, so we're going to have to feed in through the slot here. But as we're always saying with any type of stove like this, it is always a case of little and often. You can feed in through the hole here, but ideally that hole is where you're going to want to keep your airflow coming in through. Okay. But I like the way the heat is channeled. It's channeled to this here and it's not interfered. I've got a fan going on behind me because it's an extremely hot day. I wanted the airflow, and as you can see, it's not been interfered with. However, if I go to the other one, we can see, although we can feed probably a bit more wood in, and we can feed it in from multiple points, the heat is carried away by the wind. Okay, so it's not as controllable. If you were in a windy environment, it could become a problematic thing for you. It's also carrying the flame around the side of the pot. Now in some situations, if you've got a powerful and long enough flame, that's a bonus, but in this situation I see it as a bit of a drawback. Okay, so I definitely would say to you, Cup of Joe, I would go with the hobo stove if you have the space for it, especially as it gives you a lot more controlled heat rather than that one. So it's only a short video just to give you an idea, and just read it, to have a look myself. I'd never actually thought of it. Very good question. I have both sets, and I'd never actually thought, you know, which one is better. Normally I have one of these, carry it so that if I'm cooking a large amount of food, I've got a way of actually keeping things warm over the Kelly Kettle. So if I'm doing something I might just want to reheat a little bit, I can put it over the top of the Kelly Kettle. And on occasions I've done the Kelly Kettle and then I've stuck my brew pot over the top, and I've made coffee there and produced hot water for washing, making noodles and things like that, or ramen. Okay, so it gives you many options. But again, at all times with these fire pots, just remember that they burn through material very quickly. Okay, so there we have it. And of course, the problem with the heat coming up round the back on this, as I've just discovered, is my handle's got hot. So using a twig to lock the handle off, we'll put that one back over that, because I think that's the more efficient system. Yeah, definitely better. The heat is being put right where you want it, and it's keeping the handles also away from the heat. It's a bit of a bonus, but either one will do the job. And again, the bonus for these pots is it does give you a nice bit of ambient light as well. As I'm always saying, fire is our friend. You know, it's kept the wolf from the door, it's kept us warm, it's sterilised water and food for us. So although this one is the slightly better looking fire, this one is definitely the better controlled fire. It's putting the heat really where you want it. And 3 litres of water, swapping between the two. Yeah, it's slow. So 3 litres of water, it's not even, no, it's coming up to warm. So you'd want to be feeding this for quite a time, right, using either method to heat that amount of water. If you put a frying pan on it, obviously it's gonna react a lot quicker. So as you were saying to me, you're cooking for 5 people. If you've got the time, the patience, and you've got the material gathered and put together, yeah, you'll do it with no problem. Anyhow, let's come back round that side. So I hope that's answered your question for you. It's just a quick midweek video, come out quick, got it done. Obviously here at home. This week we are going out, we're going to do an overnighter with 2 one-man Lavoo shelters, or the 2 halves, and I'm going to do a comparison for cooking when I'm out, because obviously we've got high fire risk where we are, so I'm doing meth stoves. However, I'm going to do a military cook system versus the civilian cook system. So any of you want to see a Swedish military system versus the Trangier, okay, the standard civilian Trangier cook set, that's what we'll be doing this week. Oh, flicking sticks at myself as well, just for your entertainment. Anyhow guys, hope that helps. Love those you do, forgive those you don't. Please like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for future videos. Have a fantastic day wherever you are in this beautiful world. Stay safe, have your adventures, have fun. That's Kelly Kettle Cook Systems. Mickey out.